Hey guys, welcome back. Joe here again from ScaleFreak.com, coming to bring you the beginning of the series of The Diary of a Rookie Drifter. I guess that's what I'll call it. I say the rookie drifter part because I'm still not very good at this. And there has been a bit of a delay for me to get these videos for you, mainly because I've been absolutely garbage at drifting. I don't want to mince words here. I mean, I started it and I had these great ideas and I watched all these videos and I thought I'd figured it all out, and I watched Dave and I watched Pumbaa and I went out to a couple little drift meets and I thought I can race really well and I can scale, and how hard could this really be? So I'll just pick it up and it'll be like boom, like everything else that's RC car related. I can figure it out pretty easy. I understand the direct principles and stuff like that. But let me tell you guys, it's not exactly like that. And even though it's been a couple months that I've been practicing and playing with these things, a couple months does not put in the years that guys like Dave and Pumbaa have put in to get to the level that they're at. There's some pretty amazing things that you can see on YouTube out there, but at least in my case, I couldn't just pick up the radio and do that. I'm still learning so much more about this. And I think what I'd like to do is kind of catalog what I've learned so far for all of you guys who've been asking me questions about getting into drift. I want to make sure that you understand that this is definitely a learning process, and I don't want you to get discouraged as soon as you put the kit down and wonder why you just keep spinning in circles. So anything that I can do to help you keep your patience and teach you some of the things that I've learned so far, again, that's why I'd like to catalog this series, The Diaries of a Rookie Drifter. So let's start with the kit itself that I picked up. This video here, I just want to explain a few of the very simple things about what I picked up, and then we'll expand on it from there. So first step is first, let's actually discuss the kits themselves. What I picked up for myself, because really when Sakura released this D4, the price point was amazing. I mean, what better way to get into drift than getting one of these things? Talking with Dave and talking with Pumbaa, these were all of the rage. These were the next big thing. It's a cheap way to get into drift with a solid offering. Eventually I would like to move up to some of the MST stuff, the absolutely insane cars, but at this point I don't have the need. I'm still learning. I'm still learning a lot about this, actually. Let me stress it, it's so different from what I'm used to. I'm learning, which is amazing because I really like to broaden my horizons a lot when it comes to the hobby itself. Now I picked up a couple of these kits, so I knew I was going to get into this, right? And I knew I was making a commitment, and I really wanted to give it a good go and kind of give you guys my ideas and my thoughts on exactly how this stuff works. So I got myself a couple kits. I got myself a kit that I would be able to do all my testing and my tuning, and then a kit that I'd be able to do all my upgrading. And get an idea, maybe a competition kit versus a practice kit, or maybe a kit that is my primary kit and then one that other people can use. So I think that's probably what I'm going to do, is the kit that is my primary kit and then the kit that I have for other people to try out just to test to see if it's something that they like to do. But going into this, I leaned a lot on the advice of other people and the advice of the guys at RC Mart. Thank you guys for helping, because they are big into the drift hobby. So I really got them on Facebook and asked a lot of questions. What have people been ordering? What are the most common things? What are your successes with the things that you have there? And they helped me with getting the right parts that I needed. So thank you guys for that. That was a big help, because at that point with this kit, no one really had it here in North America yet when I ordered it, and I wasn't quite too sure exactly which direction I needed to go with it, since a lot of the guys here were using the MSTs, also using all-wheel drive stuff, whereas I wanted to go with the rear-wheel drive on these guys. I thought all of the bodies that I wanted to use were rear-wheel drive sports cars or American muscle cars, so I did want to go with rear-wheel drive setups. So that's what I have. But what I've learned so far is actually quite amazing. First of all, number one, the build on these kits is easy. Man, this is easily one of the easiest kits that I've ever built. So straightforward and simple. The instructions were laid out perfect. You can actually watch, I believe it's a 9-video series, step by step, how to build these kits. I've got that in my playlist if you want to check that out. The thing goes together so smooth. All the parts were there. I didn't have any concerns. And again, like I said, the instructions were laid out really well. But as a racer, some of the geometry was a little weird to me. Why would I want to make my wheels camber out that far? Why do I want that much toe? I understand for racing, I want to keep traction. This is so new to me. But again, with the drift stuff, the idea is that you want to give up traction, and that's where I'm really falling into a very big learning curve, is how to get the back end to swing out. Now, a bunch of the stuff that I've learned so far, definitely, again, thank you to Dave for all of his advice with this, and also thank you for Chris for all the help with the building and stuff like that, is that you definitely do not need to have super high-end parts on these kits. I mean, I go through some of these things. There are a few things that I have upgraded or plan to upgrade already that have made a world of difference, but really what it comes down to is the kit from the box is amazing. You don't really need to get anything else. Some neat support products would be nice, but it is what it is. Now, for my kits here, I did pick up, I have my Airtronics MT4 radio, so I just used the receiver that I had, and I actually, for my secondary kit, I just picked up a waterproof receiver because they were cheap. You only need really 2 channels anyway, so I just got myself a 3-channel. This one's a 4. This one will probably go somewhere else. For my ESC, I picked up the Hacktronics Drift ESC. This thing, I am impressed with its customizability. I am impressed with the settings that you can change. I'm just impressed with this thing. This thing is amazing. The motor, so originally on the advice, I did pick myself up a 13.5 motor in a combo kit that it came with, but I have learned since then that with these kits, at least this specific one, really needed to slow it down. So I recently installed a 21.5, and I'm running right now, it is a 23 tooth pinion with the stock spur gear. I'll talk about it later. I just wanted to let you know what the change that I did was. Amazing change. Anyway, of course, just running a 2-cell LiPo, and for my layout, because with this kit, you can select the LiPo to go in the back or in the center, because I knew I was going with a stealth mount setup. I did put it right in the center. That's just where I'm comfortable with it. But I will give you another piece of advice. I was using the Max Amps packs in here, which Max Amps, they make great packs, but I was running the 6500 mAh race packs, which were very heavy, very heavy. Very, very heavy in the middle of the car. I was having a little bit of a problem with my transitions and getting it to drift. So I swapped to a lighter pack that I had laying around from Team AHK. I threw that in, and it made a world of difference. I think maybe later on, if I'm going to get another Max Amps packs, I will get something maybe on the 5000 mAh level, maybe even less, because these drift cars don't use very much power. Anyway, again, the build was easy, and then you start to go from there and figure out what it is that you're going to need. Now, another neat thing about drifting, one thing I do want to note, is as long as you don't run into a lot of people, or a lot of people don't run into you, or you can keep it off the walls, you're not replacing anything. There's just really not much going on. You don't do a lot of wear and tear on these things. They really just float. They're almost like RC hovercrafts if you do it correctly. Very, very, very neat setup. But again, as you can see, well, this one here, I haven't even used these. These are actually brand new wheels and tires that are just kind of sitting on here. These are the ones that I've really been abusing a lot. I ran a lot of packs through these ones already. I'm a big fan of how it works. Oh, for all you tire guys, coming from racing where you have to have a couple sets of tires per event, I think Dave says that you maybe replace, depending on if you're drifting a lot, you might do 2 sets of tires a year. That's if you're going year round. So, hey, that's pretty cool. And they're pretty cheap. So, yay for that. And of course, you do have different tire selections and things like that you can do, hards and softs and stuff like that, depending on your not climate, but the surfaces, depending on surfaces, of course, carpet and asphalt and cement, all different things. So you kind of practice and see what works for you. I forget the exact codes that I'm running, but I believe it's hards in the front and hards in the rear, or it's mediums in the rear possibly, which, helps a lot. I'll talk about the rims in a different video. That's a pretty neat setup. I'll also talk about the idea of the gyros in a different video, because this is an important part that I really, really want to make sure that I discuss. This was a game changer for me. But that's kind of what I wanted to talk about, was just the beginning of the build and stuff like that. I really recommend you go watch the series if you're going to get one of these kits. If you're obviously going to get a different kit, you don't need to watch that video series. But yeah, so there's that. Now, all said and done, I don't have very much money into this truck, or into this kit, I should say. The kit itself, again, I picked everything up from RC Mart. I got it on a deal. There was a, like a pre-order deal where I got the servo, an OMG servo. I got a Yeah Racing gyro, which I've since replaced. and the kit itself, plus a little weight, like this little nitrous bottle weight that you can put in it to help the transition. I don't remember the exact price, but the deal was insane. And of course, it was free shipping. So from China to Canada for shipping, I'll take free shipping if I can get it. Then I picked up this Drift ESC and then that 13.5 motor. Now, if I were to do it again, I would buy them separately because I wouldn't get another 13.5 motor. I would go right for a 21.5, at least on this kit. So maybe consider that if you're going to do it, is instead of getting the combo and then having to buy another motor later if you decide that that's what it is, you just get this separately from that. Now, the reason why I wanted to go with the 21.5, more torque. Less wheel speed, more torque. I'll talk about that more later. Of course, a 2-cell battery is all you need. You probably already have one laying around, so that's cost effective. And then whatever your normal receiver is. So that kind of helps you a lot. Stock shocks are actually really good. Like really good? Like definitely there. And of course, the rest of the stock components, the chassis and stuff like that. There are a world of upgrades that you can go. You don't necessarily need them. Depending on your driving style. I'm going to specify that, depending on your driving style. I will, of course, upgrade it because that's just how I am. I can never leave well enough alone, and I will eventually build this thing into some kind of beast monster. But again, I do want to test and tune some of the parts as well. I've already ordered a bunch of stuff in, and I've got more stuff on its way so that you guys will have more videos to watch and decide whether that part was actually for you or not. And funny enough, if you see a part go on this kit, and then a little while later you see the part come off of this kit, then I probably didn't endorse it, and I had to get it off my own kit. Also, your normal body posts are gone. I do want to note that. I've got these stealth mounts installed from Extra Speed. Just please note that you would have to drill holes in your body. I didn't want to do that, so I got in these, and instead of using the magnet setup, I did use the Velcro. So that's it for this video. I just really wanted to touch very quickly on this, kind of give you an introduction to the series. I will touch on all the different parts as I go. And of course, the comments section below, I will record a whole bunch of these videos right now, so I may not address the comments in a video form right away because I actually have a little bit of time out here in the studio, so I'm going to touch on a bunch of different things. But that's it for now. So click like, click subscribe, comment below, and share the video throughout your community. Let's talk about some drift stuff for a while. All right, guys, have yourself an amazing day, and thanks for watching.